Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift. Today we are in conversation with Miss Ragini Sharma. She is the gorgeous woman of steel, and she is the principal of Ujjval World School. Let's just Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh my God, I can still hear
I
myself.
can still hear myself.
अब क्या करें?
अब क्या करें?
Should we reschedule it
Should we
for 6
reschedule
o'clock
it for 6 o'clock
tomorrow?
tomorrow?
As I said, when you are talking, you can do it. Let me talk. I think my voice is it echoing? For me, there is no echo. I think the audience also, I don't think they are getting the echo sound.
Absolutely. But I will not be asking you any questions. I'll just sit here like this. You keep talking.
No, I tell you.
Keep talking.
Ask.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll keep the sign language. You know, my online classes have taught me this. I'm done. You can ask.
Okay. So, welcome to the Paradigm Shift, Ragini. It is so nice to have you here. And Ragini has a very humble, small, crisp introduction about herself. Ragini Sharma, she is the principal of Ujjval World School. She started her journey as Tejas Vidyalaya, which is a part of Alembic Group of schools run by Alembic Group of companies. They have various schools across different boards and mediums in Vadodara and Bangalore. So Ragini, thank you so much for doing this with us. So tell us.
My pleasure.
So tell us, when you started your career with maths and science, what intrigued you about this subject?
Basically, you like the subjects where you have to put less effort and you score more. So with math and science, I guess it was like that. And also there are little instances with it. But the other main things regarding the subjects is that they're very logical.
Right.
Okay, it's not like something happened, something will happen. So there is not a lot of hypothetical things. And also you can relate with the things around us.
Right.
So that was from my childhood, you know, it always, these subjects always, I liked them very much. And as I said, I scored well with less effort. So that was one thing. There are also very, unique things related to these subjects, which were you can say the paradigm shift of my thought process. At a very young age it was. In our Bombay, if you know, secondary starts from class 5.
Yeah.
In our times, yes. I don't know right now what it is, but yes, that time. So I was in class 6, I remember, and we had this science teaching demo. There's this very smart lady who's coming up and very beautiful, good looking one. And we all 75 of us are in the classroom waiting, okay, let's see how a science teaching demo is going to go. And this lady came smartly, she took up the chalk and she started teaching. See, it's so clear in my mind also. Her name is Mrs. Sarita. She lives in Goregaon only. I mean, I don't know now, but that time. So she took up the chalk and she wrote the topic, atoms and molecules. Her handwriting were impressive. And slowly she took up the class, which was to the point and so composed. We actually loved it all. And our minds, which are completely, manipulating things to create a mischief in the class, we forgot everything. And she became a science teacher, and regularly in her classes, her approach was always, science is easy. Anybody can master science. It's so simple to, score in science. And don't worry, go home, just read the topic, you know, um, underline your doubts and let's discuss it tomorrow. This is what she used to keep on saying. And naturally, when teachers say, children follow. So I also started following because these thoughts kept on lingering. Whenever I took out the science book, these thoughts kept on lingering, and slowly and strongly, basically it made me like, no, I need to study science. And I put in a lot of efforts, and she was always there. So that is how my passion for science grew. And she involved a lot of, in those times, teaching aids were not that much, but whatever she used was enough for me to, she drove me towards that subject. So it was for that. And then, yes, I could really do it well. Now, coming up to maths, very interesting things. 3 people played their role. One is like my principal. She was Sister Elrin. I was in a convent, so nuns, they teach. So she was a very strict lady, and her self-discipline was awesome. So when she taught maths, she also made us like 25 to 30 sums daily. You have to do it, come what may. So it put me into that self-discipline of learning maths and doing maths. Okay, then secondly, I had this tuition teacher in class 8th. He was a South Indian, and when he saw me doing maths, he used to say, math is magical, Ragini. What you are worried about? Chalo, do it well. You need to get your steps and method right. Otherwise, don't worry. Everything will fall into place. So till that much time also I had understood, because science was getting really better. I was scoring really good. So I knew if I work a little harder, I'll make maths better. So that was it. I started working with his inputs. And in 1984-85, remember the Benson and Hedges Cup? The series was in Australia. And my dad, he was an ardent fan. So of cricket. And if you want to see in those times, agar aapko cricket dekhna hai, तो आपको 2:30 बजे सुबह उठना पड़ता था, and you have to just settle yourself in front of the TV. And my dad was like, at that time no friends will come, so he had to pick up a cricket buddy. He wanted somebody, so he chose me. He chose me as his cricket buddy, and 2:30 he used to make me get up. Okay, and I also used to freshen up well and like, chalo baith jao samne TV ke. And I also enjoyed ke chalo cricket dekhne mil raha hai. And he used to explain me cricket also, so I was learning something new. God knows, one of the days, he realized, Ragini, what is happening? Dads are dads. Saying, you're wasting so much of time, right? Because if you get up 2:30 in the morning, aapko dusre time sona to padega na. So I used to, compensate my sleep in the afternoon or so. And he's like, no, do one thing. Take out a subject which you can see the match also and study also. That was my first lesson of multitasking. And what to do? How, if you read something, you'll go off to sleep. So I had to do something. So either you could do grammar or either you could do math. So I picked up maths. And let me tell you that throughout the series, I think it got stretched for some 1.5 or 2 months. It must be, if I'm not wrong, because 84 ki baat hai. And that much time I kept on 2:30 subah ut ke, fresh ho ke seedha maths pe lag jao. So, and I really, then when the exam came, I really scored so well. I was happy about myself. I learned more. I became better. So yeah, that's how it is, it's like you have your right guides, great mentorship, and most importantly, your will. No subject is such that you can't do it. And for me, math and science are like, wow. Not that I'm bad at other subjects, but these two, yes. And they're very close to my heart.
That was amazing. That was such an amazing story. So, tell us, Ragini, you've spent about 2 decades in the field of education, in field of academics. So, what are some of the highs and lows that you remember still that are, ringing in your mind?
Dipshika, for highs and lows, if you say, I guess infinite. Infinite. Everything that goes well is a high, everything that goes bad is a low. Okay, for human nature, as we know, that we want everything to be best. But it can't be like that. But today, if I have to quote on this platform, is something I will like to tell you. It's like also again for me, it is a very important phase of my life. When I started this job at Tejas Vidyalaya, it was 2004. Okay, so I joined, and by the end of the year, I met with an accident. And this accident was, I got a second level brain hemorrhage. Already was juggling very hard with my home front and with my school job. I got this brain hemorrhage, and before 2 years, I had this brain stroke also. Okay, so at 32, I got a brain stroke. At 34, I got this brain hemorrhage. My new job, I was a non-B.Ed. I was, doing my B.Ed because the management has really been very kind, and they had helped me out to enroll myself. So it was like juggling so much, and 2 kids, younger ones who were studying. This brain hemorrhage put me really behind, and it put me like, wow, I'm trying to work hard and my body is not supporting. Back and forth, I'm really getting sick, and something or the other is not going right. And that was the time I wanted to sympathize with myself, and I was like giving in. Okay, and it is a new job. So what happens is with all the employees is like when you start a new job, you start seeking validation for all the work that you do. And when you get this feedback, you need to improve. That is something you can't digest. So, and every day you're working, most of the times when you get this feedback, I was like, क्यों करना है, नहीं करना है, मैं ही ऐसी हूँ, मेरे साथ भगवान ने सब ऐसे किया ना. You start sympathizing with yourself. And I was getting into I was trying to take a back seat, and my husband at that time got up and he saying, come on, get up, work hard. दुनिया में ऐसा नहीं हुआ है कि you can't do anything. So yeah, after that I introspected a lot, and I also changed myself. It's very important that you change your thought process when things are not working right. I was composed, I calmed myself. And at Tejas, I had this amazing staff room of secondary section, and each in its own way are my mentors, and they upgraded. The whole staff helped me upgrade my skills. My management also pushed me to areas and, where I could explore hidden talents in me, which I never knew. So yeah, and then slowly I started getting the vibes that, wow, Ragini, you are really worth it. So it's important to be resilient. It's important to get out of our comfort zones. Do something where you are trying to achieve your immense happiness for yourself and others. So highs and lows keep on happening, but yes, what you learn is important. So this is my learning from that time. And yes, I'm still going on.
That is so cool.
That is so cool.
Okay, I can still hear myself. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so and then comes the pandemic. And it affects everybody, turns everything upside down. So I think the education system had to work double hard. So tell us a little bit about that. How did your staff and everything, how did you guys go through the pandemic of these online studies? What were the difficulties? What were the drawbacks?
Too much. I think everywhere it is on the net also. If you say pandemic and education, you will find endless content on it. But yeah, 2021 and 21-22, they are the most disrupted schooling years of the 21st century. And thankfully, the whole thing is now just drawing to a close. Yeah, but we need to take a stock. We may not take a stock of everything what is happening around or what has happened, but few things, yes. Like for example, the unwarranted difficulties. Okay, जैसे सबसे पहले के nobody is moving out of the house, but How do you make the education reach to every child who's sitting in the house? Okay, unwarranted. We never thought that children will not come to school. We really didn't think that children will not come and we will not be able to reach out in terms of education. So that was the time. And then if you see the opportunities, the pre-existing opportunity and the achievement gaps, they have widened. So many children, they actually dropped out of the school. Okay, so dropping, naturally when children are not coming to school, they are dropouts. So it's a loss of education. School management के लिए fees भी नहीं आ रही है. Okay, so with the lack of funds and the liabilities still remain the same. It's not that the staff has been reduced. It's not कि आज किसी को तुम X amount दे रहे हो, you decrease it and you make it to a Y amount of salary. Okay, the government did not reduce the tax. Okay, if you see, all the liabilities were standstill. But what was decreasing is lesser number of children coming to school, lesser number of, joining online. And then eventually there was most of them dropouts also. So that was the main challenge about the funds thing. Then with all this, you stand up front in the competitive world. XX school is doing this, YY school is doing this, AA school has not done this. Oh, X is doing this, Y is doing this, A needs to do this. Now, you are not going to school. So if A does not have something in the pandemic, on the call, try and get those resources. So you are in competition with X and Y. Okay, so this is how it was. And staff recruits, during that time, how do you get it done? And once you recruit a staff, or the ones who are over there, work from home. Work from home. Someone is busy with this, someone is busy with this, you're calling, you're putting a message, not interested. Okay, so this is all about, I'm talking the management part. I'm also now going to talk on the teachers part. For teachers also, 24/7, they had to be accessible. Thanks to the easy access of WhatsApp and like people who want immediate answers to everything. So, bhejo message, abhi answer aana chahiye. Okay, glitchy internets. Like right now also, if we are having internet glitch, okay, you can say the Google Meet or the Zoom fatigue. Jab dekho tab Google Meet, jab dekho tab you are in front of the screen. Starting May, it was very irritating. Then I think we all, got into the new normal, the word which was coined. And yes, that is all about teachers. And then plans, everything online. People who are not so techno-friendly, they also were pushed to give their best. Very hard times. Yeah, so it was not easy. It was really not easy. I remember seeing somebody who's like, usko in computer na mobile mein bhi WhatsApp chalu karna nahi aata. And I'm like, make plans and let it go on the flint or let it do this, So it was like, and I knew like Ragini, she may be having a tough time, but then I could not even empathize. I'm empathizing, but I can show my empathy. I need to get the work done. So those were the kinds, but thankfully, yes, praise to all the staff, all the teacher community all over the world. They've really done wonderful. Okay. And coming up to students part, they also need not read everything on the screen. For them, it's like Petho, the teacher has sent the question answers on the screen now, download it, upload it. Also after writing it, upload it. So much extra task. Imagine for the kindergartens, 3, 4, 5-year-old children. So those were the major things. Schedule changes. Suddenly the class school has changed, made a different timetable. Another 6 months, some feedback is coming, some different timetable. There were schools who I used to see the timetables and they used to run from morning 8:30 to evening 7:30. And I'm like, oh God. So that was also there. Schedule changes. We are into a habit. We are into a certain schedule. And suddenly that gets changed. It's not easy. So those were the things. But there are also other good things. Like, for example, I'll share few lines about how we did at our school. So we are a group of schools and, there's a huge, you can say, team that looks into all the academics. So yeah, everybody got together. We started working out plans and doable plans. We also, as I said, this was so unwarranted that we did not think of something hi-fi. We wanted to go slow, but we wanted to go correct. And we wanted to be precise with how we do it. So we scheduled things in a way, we planned things in a way which were extremely doable. And, technology also not to a great hi-fi thing that we are still bringing our teachers up. So we were training them, hand-holding them. So something which everybody could achieve. So the plans were achievable. So that is what we did. And we had a lot of open discussions also. Everybody had to pitch in with whatever knowledge they could give. And after that, with a lot of discussions, we finished with our plan. Okay. And then we did the online classes. I think I can boast right now that my team is great doing at the online classes. And we actually made archives of resources that are easy and now accessible to the whole school, for children, for parents, for teachers, or a lot of academic content. They have it in hand now, which we used to type what is required, we used to print what was required. Ab bahut kuch unke paas hai. They just have to pull out that how they need to take a class. So that was a good thing. And the best thing which I like, Deepshikha, parents were at home, children were at home, grandparents were at home. Lunches and dinners having together, watching TVs, a lot of communication flowed in the family, and everybody understood each other well. Though we are in a family, we do understand, but minute by minute seeing somebody, it does make a difference. And I just think that everybody got a little more closer. We understood that life is so unpredictable. We need to value what we are getting. So yeah, that is it. Adaptation. We really adapted well. Human nature, not in fact human nature. Darwin's theory says, generations, it will be seen. Once you adapt, it is seen through generations. I will not say this much, but otherwise that it is.
That is so beautifully put. I absolutely agree with you that how we've adapted. Now, post-pandemic, tell me, how are you guys, how are your teachers and you preparing yourself for all the online coming offline, and do you foresee any problems?
When it comes to the school part, I guess all the working documentation, everything remains the same. It's basically now the psychology, which was into the oscillating hybrid and online and virtual, has to be, we are like in the interim right now, we are oscillating. So we need to make it fixed up. So the thought process, the psychology of the children, to make them sit instead of 4 periods, 6 periods, full. There are certain states, and in fact, we have made school online only full day, but there are certain states they've made like full day school only offline. Karnataka is still not completely offline. So we are still oscillating, but yes, we've started mentally preparing our children. Children, next year it's going to be like this. So you have to sit, and parents are waiting. Le jao bachcho ko school. When are you calling them? And I'm like, okay, just waiting for the SOPs to change by the government, and we will start, and the circular that we can call all the children. So yeah, that's it. And Likhna, 2 years who've seen them writing. Exams are all online, getting them into that write your own paper. And yes, getting that peer group back, which was before, getting the dynamics back. Okay, so that is important. Dynamics in the staff, dynamics with children amongst themselves, with their teachers, and bridging the gap of the loss of academics which has happened. That is a major, major challenge right now. And I guess 22, 23, when it starts, that is the time I'll be actually correctly putting it across. But right now, this is what we foresee.
And especially all the kids that have been pandemic babies who have studied only never come to school and just seen online this.
That's what I'm saying. That the dynamics is going to change. So it's like we will understand and we will come to know, okay, yeah, this has happened. Pandemic babies are, my God, बेचारों को ऐसा तो मत बोलो.
Right. No, because my friends were telling me that they were like, they're so not used to going to school. They're like, आज मारा, आज मेरा off लिख दो. गुजरात
Off
में.
लिख दो. In the online class तो वो late भी जाते हैं ना बेचारे, nursery 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
You can't make them sit, so they are in their house, they are in their comfort zone. वो ऐसे भी पढ़ते हैं लेट के, ऐसे अपनी टीचर को देखते हैं, पैर भी ऊंचे कर लेते हैं. It's really cute to see, but yeah, how they'll come to school and how they're going to sit, challenge.
Correct, total. Okay, so tell us about your early days, like what were some of the teachings that you hang on to, from that you learned your family?
Well, if you see, first thing, if you have understood me also till now, we've been way back, very strong. We have all learned to be very strong, very resilient, and take decisions which are always stacked with a lot of responsibility. So we were never allowed to take a decision and say, "Okay, ठीक है, decision लिया, कल सुबह बदल दिया." No, decision taken, respected, and you are responsible also for it. So that is how we were trained as kids. My parents were otherwise very strict, but otherwise very lenient. So they were like completely balanced people. They knew what they wanted from their kids. So that is how we were. And optimization of time that I told you, cricket mein, that is something we were taught to the T. All of us at home. We were not allowed to be lazy, neither waste time. And we were not allowed to sit idle. I remember कि I don't have any instances where I can say मैंने आज कुछ नहीं किया, कभी भी मुझे कुछ ऐसा याद ही नहीं. We have to be doing something. So yeah, that was it. And my parents also put a very quality, you can say it's a quality and a value, that we were always told to owe up things. Whatever we did, we were not allowed to blame others. You have done it, learn to owe it up. Accept it, even if it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, learn to say sorry and go ahead and learn it and make it better. So yeah, घर की है हमारे कुछ rules.
So all these things you probably instill in your children now in school.
In school, yeah. Not only children, why? Even adults need it, right?
No, all your students back in the school.
Sure, we do teach them. And it's very important that this happens. So we do teach our children so much. And that too is not teaching, as I said. It's always by demonstrating.
Yeah.
So as elders, we do demonstrate a lot. And whenever we get this conversation that we can do it with them, we try and tell them that these are important things, and they make you stand you apart, make you stand apart, that compared to the others. Like I always say, bachelors to sab hai, engineers to sab hai, tum alag kaise dikhoge?
Wow.
So it's like your values and skills and how you take things up front. So I do tell that to the kids.
Fantastic.
And now my early days.
Yeah, tell.
Yeah, I think your next question was about my early days. I have been with a lot of person who has taken my responsibilities. Nobody's told me. Self-taken. कोई बोले ना बोले अपने आप ही जवाबदारी लेने की. For example, I finished my 12th board, we were in Vadodara, all of us. And I think you guys enjoyed it. And as soon as the exam got over and after 10 days, I started hunting for tuition jobs. And I wanted to do it because I was the eldest of the family. And I was like, once I go to the college, I don't want my parents to pay my fees. And that, you call it a self-respect. And I also wanted to shoulder the financial load of the house and the family. We were 4 brother and sister. Not that dad was not really doing well or so, but I wanted to do it. Like I said, 18 years, if I vote, I need to start earning also. So that was my mindset. Yeah, and I kept on doing it. And as soon as I finished my bachelor's, I opened my own tuition classes. And I ran it till my age of 32, till the time I got stroke. And with that brain stroke, I had to stop it because I was completely 1.5 years, I was on medicine. And Thankfully, because I don't know, God was kind, I revived immediately, but my medicines continued for 1.5 years. And psychologically also, it took me that much time to recover that nothing has happened to me. I'm really fine. And then within 6 months, as I said, I was with Tejas, and that story too, I told you how it is. So yeah, from 34, 2004, and right now, 2022 March. Yeah, this is my story,
Journey.
how I moved on. And currently, here I am in front of you as principal, Ujjval World School.
Incredible. So, Ragini, do you feel that teachers today are underpaid and undervalued?
It's how you look at it. Okay, for undervalued in India, it's very subjective for me to comment on it. Okay, and because it's like everybody has their own different views. Okay, like Hillary Clinton, I think 2012, she had visited India, and I remember her interview. Most of the things she really spoke well. It was a lot of about politics and all, but she spoke certain things about education also. And what line she spoke is still fixed here. My memory is great. So she said, okay, education is one profession where all over the world in the countries, they are not really paid well, and it is an undervalued profession. That time also, I remember I told my husband, kuch bhi bolti hai. The thing is, how many professions do you have where you get respectful people? People in the terms of your children. I'm sure today I can see so many children around here who have joined. Why have they come? What are they going to gain? It is the respect, the love they have for their teacher. Where do you get this? How can you keep it at par with the money that you are earning? Important. Salary, money is very important. It is one of the motivating factors, but you need to actually, it's like you need to find out what you're seeking in a profession. Okay, so being satisfied with what you are doing or not, it is everything up to you. You need to, end of the day, say, okay, oh God, I did this and I'm happy. I've reached out to this point and I'm happy. I've reached out to this person and I'm doing good. So those are things which are very important for me. Money, ठीक है, अब education भी एक profession हो रहा है, तो money भी आजकल has become important. I cannot deny it. But yeah, my thinking is a little separate. I wanted to grow with values and with money. So that is important. You grow parallelly. You don't ask for money. When it comes to values, you're not interested. मतलब salary नहीं होना चाहिए. आप काम करो, पैसा तो अपने आप आएगा ही.
Correct.
If I tell you my first salary and if I tell you now, you say you will be like shocked. So ऐसा है. So पैसा तो आएगा, काम करिए, पैसा कौन देने को नहीं तैयार. अच्छे काम को पैसा सारी दुनिया देती.
Because I think that teaching is the most noble,
it's a noble profession.
Absolutely
no.
It's not underpaid. It's like, and
that's my thinking.
Right. No. I'm so happy to hear this because it's the most noble profession because they shape our future. The teachers shape our future. Okay, so Ragini,
the priority is values and not money. That's what I'm saying. You need to. What you are seeking is first you decide, and then you go ahead. That ultimately how you're going to get satisfied with.
Absolutely. So, Ragini, you will agree that, education in our days were very different from education today. So, what is one advice that you will give to the parents of the present generation regarding education?
Number one, they all need to be really calm. Today's generation, parents are super active. They need to be calm and they need to understand that it's okay not to be okay. Everything takes its time to unfold. Nothing is going to happen ke box mein dala aur finished product bahar aa gayi. So yeah, they need to be patient and they have to allow children to explore their interests. In fact, as I said, parents have to allow children to strengthen the decisions taken by their children. As I said, like I wanted at 12th standard, if I decided to take my tuition job, my dad didn't intervene. He just said, okay, you can do it. Don't only do in math and science, you'll be able to do English and SS also. So that is how we strengthen the decision. I was taking math, science, English, SS, okay? So let children discover themselves. Don't be in a rat race that X has done this and Y's child is doing this, so Z's, my child also should be doing this. I speak a lot of XYZ maths teacher. Yeah, and let them achieve whatever they are thinking for themselves, not to impose things. Let them spend time with themselves and with their families. Let them learn things and let them find out, exploring what they want to do. So yeah, very simple, but yeah, this is the crux.
Nandita has said very well. Lovely comments. Though we are underpaid, but we make the children's lives awesome. So true, and touch their life. And Sujata Batija says, so true. Values are indeed very important, as important like the salary. Vibhuti says, in some countries there is no retiring age as experience counts. Super. And yeah. Hey everybody. Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit about one message you would like to give us, give to the students of today.
Students who are studying, for them, you should be really proud that you are studying in the 21st century. In your very, very early stage, you have experienced the uncertainty of life. For people like us, it took a long time. Okay, and there are some people who are still so blessed that they have not seen. Okay, so children have understood. So probably they should be, in fact, valuing everything, valuing what they have, valuing their life. Okay, they need to make a mark. They need to think what they want to, and they really need to go behind it properly. They need to discover their passion, and they need to make the best of it.
Ragini, tell us, some of your hobbies.
Not much. Basically, my hobby is gardening.
X plus Y.
Gardening is my hobby.
Wow.
I would have loved to show you my garden. My terrace garden is awesome.
Okay.
I like reading. Okay, and I like traveling.
Okay.
That's one new passion which has added up. I like moving around now. With my kids all grown up, son is in US, daughter's married, I'm alone. I like now traveling around.
Lovely. And if there is one particular thing that you will call as your inspiration.
My inspiration are three amazing women. Mama, for sure, because she was, I guess, the strongest of all of us. So I have seen her being that strong, and probably I also got stronger the same way. I had this one amazing colleague in my Tejas Vidyalaya, Mrs. Vibhuti Mehta, the name that you read, Vibhuti. She is 75 years, and she was the one who said that there should be no retirement age, because she's still amazing, doing a great job. And last but not the least, I have my managing trustee, Mrs. Biniti Trivedi. I've seen her also since 2004. And the kind of work she does is like, I sometimes just look at her and, my God, कहाँ से इतना दिमाग चलता है, कहाँ से इतना काम कर सकते हैं, और कहाँ से इतनी energy आती है. But yeah, she's amazing. So I try and imbibe things a lot from these three. So these are, my role models, my inspirations.
Absolutely, that is incredible. So Dr. Anita says, an all-round development for the kids is so important. So well said.
Very true. Very, very true.
So tell us, Ragini, that when you're not a principal of a school, what are you doing? I mean, other than gardening.
I chill. I do my gardening because that's my meditation. My meditation is, I cannot meditate because I'm also very hyperactive.
Okay.
But my gardening is my meditation. And I really chill. So spend time with my near and dear ones. I like going for long drives, so I do that.
Lovely.
Love exploring hotels. I'm a foodie. So,
Good. Okay.
and yes, social media.
Okay.
I like being there, you know. If you see, I'm like, dhadak, if somebody puts something, my like is immediately there. So yeah, I like being on the social media too.
So lovely. So, Ragini, tell us, have you faced any failure? You've already talked about your major illness so was there any failure that was a major learning for life?
Array, so many, you don't ask only, Baba. But today, if I have to tell, रहने दे, let it be a secret.
You know why you should tell? So that your students will kind of look up to you that, you know, if somebody like man can, you know, overcome all that and be here, it's like that. Maybe one small failure.
If that secret I tell my children, now, I am not going to be able to face them. Forget it.
Okay. Okay, pass. Okay. So, like you just said, meditation, you know, gardening and meditation. So, that is so important, you know. Today, it's the need of the hour, mindfulness. So, do you promote this in your school?
Yeah, very much. In fact, Alembic Group of Schools, we have a very well chalked out plan, and not only chalked out plan, but also well executed. We have this happiness program for teachers, and it's conducted, you know, we are the Heartfulness Group. They conduct these sessions, and it's amazing. They do a lot of meditation. They have sessions where they explain everybody how to lead a life, how do you need to change your thoughts, how can we bring a paradigm shift in our lives. So, and that is, we do it monthly, sometimes fortnightly, sometimes weekly, depends on the calendar that we have. And yeah, we are into it very much.
I have to keep putting my mic on off.
Yeah.
So this has been such a beautiful session. And just before we go on to the last question, I want to tell everybody here, please follow the paradigm shift for such beautiful, inspiring stories like this one. And everybody that is, you know, from the paradigm shift, you can follow you know, Ragini's account for lot more things that are happening on the school. There is one very beautiful message. Mental health is too important, hence meditation is too. And as educators being on the pedestal, we must promote kids to meditate. Do you also have kids to meditate?
Pardon?
Do you also have kids to meditate in your school?
We've not started. Past 2 years pandemic, and my school inception was 2019.
Oh.
So I guess, and yeah, but we have yoga. We do have yoga, and the yoga sessions we do meditate. But
Right.
the heartfulness one is only for this time.
All right. Yeah. Good. So to end this beautiful session, would you like to give our viewers one last message from yourself?
My last message is my own belief. Bring it on. Nothing is unachievable.
Lovely. That is so beautiful. So somebody says I joined it late, but whatever I heard, I'm glad I learned a lot from Ragini ma'am Sujata. So thank you everybody for joining in. You know, all this technical glitch, I kept myself mute as much as I could. So please, whoever has to watch this recorded version, please watch this, because we have clear portions where Ragini is talking. Thank you so much.
You were clear. I guess the echoing was happening for you only.
Okay, great.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much, Ragini. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dipshikha, for inviting me. I didn't think I would be like this doing it, but yeah, thanks.
Oh, lovely. You were fantastic. You were incredible.
Incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. And you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay,
See you.
bye.
See you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.
You too.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
everybody for joining. You all have a great time. Bye.
All your students and all your teachers, everybody is joined here.
Everybody is joined here.
Did you
Yeah, I
get a
know.
chance? Did you get a chance to see who won?
To see who won?
No, I didn't get a chance to see who all.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care. Have a great weekend,
Bye.
guys.
Great weekend, guys.